Love your enemies. You have heard that it was said, you shall love your neighbor and hate your enemy. But I say to you, love your enemies, bless those who curse you, do good to those who hate you, and pray for those who spitefully use and persecute you, that you may be sons of your Father in heaven. For he makes his sun rise on the evil and on the good, and sends rain on the just and the unjust. For if you love those who love you, what reward have you? Do not even the tax collectors do the same? And if you greet your brethren only, what do you do more than others? Do not even the tax collectors do so? Matthew 5:43 through 47. Then Jesus said, Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they do. And they divided his garments and cast lots. Luke 23:34. Ultimate love from the dying God-man on a cross. The supreme example of love your enemies. The sinful world are God's enemies. Jesus died for all of us. He loved us with forgiveness. He prayed for them from the cross. Then he knelt down and cried out with a loud voice, Lord, do not charge them with this sin. And when he had said this, he fell asleep. Acts 7:60. Another example of love your enemies. Ordinary believers do the same today. They do the extraordinary. They love, bless, do good, and pray for those who spitefully use and persecute them. Do you? We are commanded and commissioned with power and purpose. There is no greater power than God's love, no higher purpose than saving of souls. Redemption. Violence never wins souls for Christ. Otherwise, he would have commanded us to hate and destroy our enemies. He would have taken this world by violent force. The Christ would not have come. No cross, no salvation. We would have been obliterated from his memory. That's not his love. That wasn't his plan. Jesus came to save the world, not to condemn or destroy it. He came to resurrect, renew, and restore by love, by his mighty love, the greatest force of all. Behold his love today. Look into his eyes of burning love and let him melt you down. Love your enemies. Self melted down, yielded to Christ, you walk in his power to love and do good to those who hate you. The standard of heaven lives in you now, lowly, humble, sacrificial, obedient, Christ-like. The hardest things to do bring the greatest results, now and later. Face your enemies and love them. Do good to them. Love the unlovable with Jesus' irresistible, overwhelming love today. Join the ranks of the Hebrew Hall of Famers, the simple elite, the small mighty. They did with faith. Believe in the God of heaven. They did this because they loved and obeyed him. How about you? Father, help us face our enemies today and love them no matter what they do to us, no matter how bad they treat us. May they be won over to you because of your mighty love in us, loving them. Amen. Therefore, you shall be perfect just as your Father in heaven is perfect. Matthew 5:48.